Hi there and welcome back to Japan and to my reaction and review to Sputnik by the Peggies. And I'm going to pull out my headphones now because you know how the format works by now, right? Basically, due to many reasons why we had to close down our channel and reopen the channel, if you want to see the reaction, I'm about to do the review now. To watch the reaction, just click the little link in the description below and it'll take you to a video player where you can watch the reaction in a separate location. Anyway, let's get on to the review after you've watched the reaction. Have you watched the reaction? Pause this now and go watch the reaction. Have you watched it? Have you already heard the song? Do you even need to hear me react? Do you already know what you think of it and just want to hear my opinions? I'll take that as a yes. So, here we go. Review for Sputnik by the Peggies. Now, this is an interesting one because, as I said before, this is a group who I started off really liking and I still really do like. There are, as with all these things, when you get to know a group more, you get to hear more of their facets. And we're now quite a few songs in with the Peggies. Obviously nowhere near as many as like a die-hard fan, but we've started to build up enough knowledge of their singles to get a feeling for what they sound like. And by the way, just in case you're new to this channel and you're wondering, hey, this is the first Peggies song you listen to, yeah, our previous channel got closed. There was a lot of reviews on there. I'm trying to repost them. Give me time. So anyway, like I say, we've heard quite a few Peggies songs. Now, the very first song I heard by them, I absolutely adored, Love Trip, because I just was really taken by just how something so simple as this three-piece band, they could get such an interesting, engaging, catchy song and have so much nuance in it without doing anything particularly twiddly. It just worked. Every note was in the right place and it was perfect. There are other tracks since, like Love into Tokyo, very weird name, which was kind of creative, clever, but still had that upbeat vibe. But it was always those more upbeat vibe songs that I kind of enjoyed by them. And some of the more slower ones didn't work as much for me. I still liked them. I haven't heard a bad Peggy song. They just didn't really sort of ignite anything particular. And the problem is that with some of those slower songs, they kind of fall into this area that seems to be quite popular at the moment with Japanese music. Now, obviously, we're aware of the massive uprising in the last 15, 20 years, or maybe 10, depending on how much you regard as an uprising, of all-female Japanese bands. And some of them being fantastic. However, there always is that area where there's a certain plateauing in any genre. And there has been a lot of all-female bands doing that kind of more jangly indie sound, sort of slow songs. I think kind of maybe influenced by bands like Bump of Chicken and Mr. Children, although they had a lot of variation as a lot of these bands too. But when you get a lot of those slower, janglier songs, they do kind of all start to sound very similar with a lot of these bands. And I am someone who likes a lot of genres. Don't worry, I'm not like just a solo metalhead or something. I like metal, I like pop, I like, like indie as well. I like kind of everything. But yeah, it means that a lot of the bands start to sound similar. And that's something where I think the Peggies, when they do slower songs, they kind of sound less unique. They lose a lot of their sparkle and sound more akin to a lot of their neighbours, which is fine. They still sound good, but they stand out less. Now, this is one of the slowest songs. Interestingly enough, though, I think that this kind of worked better than a lot of the other songs that I've heard them do with this kind of tempo. Yeah, it's not immediately catchy. This is not one where you'd think with a slow tempo song often you can do a big catchy chorus. I'm not saying that's always an easy thing to do, but this one hasn't got a chorus that you can... In fact, just thinking now, I can't remember how the chorus goes. However, I can remember the tone and the feel of the song, and that's kind of what's important. This is a song with very distinct feeling. I noticed that they, like I said, as I said in the reaction, the vocal line has the sort of normal, wistful, slow, melodic, and very engaging tone. They're very good with melodies, these girls. And, it has that same tone of being very catchy and very easy and almost sounds sing-alongable. However, the backing was quite cleverly dealt with here. Once again, when you're dealing with a three-piece band, that can be very good in that it means that you have to think more originally, and often three-piece bands are much cleverer with how they arrange their songs than with bands with bigger the ability to do bigger arrangements. However, in this case, they did a nice, simple job of it. Most of it sort of jangles along fairly generically in the background, just strumming the beats very... 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing particularly interesting happening for a lot of it. However, there's little runs, there's little bits where the drums goes over to the toms, I noticed, little bits where you get some stabby sort of staccato playing on the guitar and the bass, which makes it a bit more interesting. These things are, you don't need to do technical things, but these are important to break up the feeling so it's not just another jangle strum song. And that's kind of what this does. It has a little bit of freshness in the way that the backing's delivered. I must say that overall, I liked this. I would be more than happy to listen to it again. Certainly would. However, my final conclusion would kind of have to be that although I'd be very happy to listen to it, I still think that, to me, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't stand out as being something where, if this was the first song I'd heard by the Peggies, I would be interested in hearing more, but I wouldn't be massively drawn to hearing more, the same way that I was after hearing songs like Love Trip, or if I'd heard Love in the Tokyo first. Those songs really, well, Love Trip obviously I did hear first, but with either of those, if I'd heard them first, they would have really got me interested in hearing more. Songs like this, and with songs like Glider, sorry CMC, with songs like this and songs like Glider, they are more in that element where I go, well, nice singer, nice playing band, I guess I'll check out more. So that's the thing that I mean about this. It's good at being what it is, but it doesn't stand out or particularly, to me, demonstrate any of the things that make the band best. So, like I said, this one, again, it's trying to, as we do on this channel, trying to be honest and not kiss ass, and yet at the same time, trying to sort of point out, this is a good song. This is a song that I did enjoy. It's just, obviously, there are so many songs and so many bands out there, especially in Japan these days, that you have to sort of say when something is, I liked this, but it doesn't stand out from the crowd. And I don't think this even stands out from the songs I've heard by them before, but it is still, in a sea of a lot of songs that sound like this is one of the better ones, definitely. So yeah, credit where it's due. Also, I like the video. The video was nice and sort of gentle and pleasant, and I didn't really pick up from the lyrics what it was about 100%. So my Japanese is not good enough to pick up lyrics, unfortunately, not on the fly. And so, it was one where I couldn't 100% get the feeling, but there was a nice feeling did come across, and I felt the video seemed to match the song. I am 100% sure, well, I would say 100, I'm 99.9% sure that this was filmed in the same school building that Love Trip was filmed in. Just remembering how the camera moved, I remember the bit at the top of the stairwell where they go through the double doors, the bit on the top of the building and how the way it's laid out. I am sure that is the same setting from Love Trip. Guys, tell me if you know whether that is, because as always, I don't pre-research anything. Look, anyway, I'm going to wrap this one by saying that like I say, I really enjoyed it, but I want to hear more of what makes the Peggies special, what makes them stand out. I want to hear more of them expressing their personality in a way that maybe we don't hear other bands doing all the time. Like I say, this is the sort of song where if Lucy 2 had done this song, just with Lucy 2 as singer, I wouldn't have said it was out of character for Lucy 2. And that's kind of what I mean, is you could just pick up any band like that and just say, yeah, there are other bands who could have done this song. So I want to hear something which is more, more definitely Peggies. Anyway, there you go. That's my opinion. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that, but as always, tell me what you think in the comments, whether you like it, whether you dislike it, whatever you think. Remember, our Discord and our Reddit are in the description below with links, and Reddit's good for giving suggestions for new songs, and Discord is where we're talking about music all the time. Of course, you can comment here, like I say, liking and subscribing is much appreciated, and a big thank you, much love to our patrons who keep this channel going. So if you want to join them, there's also a link for that in the description below, and it's greatly appreciated if you do. But for now, from Japan, thank you so much for joining me here, and thank you for getting through to the end of the video, and hopefully I'll see you soon. But until then, for now, ciao ciao.